All right, guys, we're going to start with the assignment 5 as the C504A. There's a lot of questions in here. Just going to run through them real quick. For question 5.6, what's important here is this going to be utilizing a for loop to actually go through the NumPy array. So we'll have a simulate vector computing function with the x and t as the input parameters. And instead of just going through the array functionality vectorally, we'll be doing the for loop over here. Because it says it's a mimic a series computation you did by hand. So you do the for loop and you go through the formula here, the cosine, sine, and the exponent. So this is the result for 5.7. Create an array with the value 0 to 3 and write out all of these basically array slicing functionalities. I just kind of printed them out within the function and called it out. But for the first one, what this is pretty much means is just print out everything. The second one means to go from the top to the bottom, but with a step size of 5. So you start with like the first one and the sixth one, and going forward. The third one will be starting with the second value and ending at the second to the last value with a step size of 6. And I printed out the values from below here. For question 5.8, here important is that it's going to be it's going to be using an array operation to perform the computations. I look at the section 2.6.2. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get the actual original data, so I just put a sample data over here with only 3 values, and I ran this function over here with the array operation of getting the mean, and I printed the values out like this. For 5.9, to make a function and make a plot out of it, we'll have the original v0 and g value as such, and the t values will be from 0 to t to this pretty much 2 times vo divided by g, and we'll be creating the y values out of it. And for the plotting, we'll be using matplotlib to plot the t value as well as the y values. So this is what's shown over here. For 5.10, the difference is that we're going to be taking the value in from the command line. So that's going to be so what's different is that we have to use like a sysargv instead of getting the input parameters just from the function itself. So I use the sysargv over here and plot the graph over here, and the actual plotting will be in a for loop, where depending on the different input values, we have different plots. So I ran the Python script, which is pretty much exactly this, and we can see this is a result output. For 5.11, for 5.11, extend the program for exercise 5.10, such a minimum, maximum t and y values are computed, and use extreme value to specify the extent of axis. Add some space above the highest value to make the plot look better. So very similar, but we'll have the t min and t max, y min and y max. You get the plot, and we'll get a series of velocity sets already here, and depending on the min and y max values, we'll be conditioning the x and y limit based on what's shown here and shown over here. And yeah, you can see that this is a plot from here. 5.15, for this question, we need to use the string function. I get pips install a string function from site tool 3 because I'm using Python 3, and you can see that we'll get the we'll get all using the sysargv to get all the input parameters, and we'll be converting the first one, this example over here, like exponential function times sine of x. We'll be converting this to actually a function, and the x values as well as f values will be based on the input parameters shown over here. I can show you what the actual result is going to be, and you can see this is going to be the result over here, based on this function command. So yeah, that is it for the assignment 5.